What's going on, all my fantasy football fans out there? It's Waiver Wire Queen. Today I'm going to recommend some players you should start and some players you should consider sitting week 11 to help your team compete at the highest level. Make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to the channel for more on fantasy football. Let's get right into it, y'all. So let's talk about bye week. So we have two teams on a bye week. We have the Broncos and the Rams on a bye week, which is obviously key because you have some top fantasy performers. You got Matthew Stafford, Darrell Henderson, LBJ, Cooper Kupp is the biggest name on this list, Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp is carrying a lot of teams out there. Cortland Sutton, Melvin Gordon, Javonte Williams, Noah Fant, Jerry Jeudy, one of my favorites, Tim Patrick, and Tyler Higbee. So there are some heavy hitters that will not be available. And so, one, hopefully you worked the waiver wire and was able to put in a claim for a player who will help you. And two, you make the right choice on who you're going to be starting and sitting, especially if you don't have any of these guys. So let's talk about the Patriots at the Falcons. So Thursday night football. You know how those games go. They're unpredictable, right? No, those games sometimes is boring as hell. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm like, they need to figure this Thursday night football thing out because it's boring. It is. But nonetheless, let's talk about some players you should consider starting in this game with the Patriots playing the Falcons. So I don't recommend too many Falcons. The only Falcon I'm recommending in this game is Patterson, and that's if he can go. He sprained his ankle. Let's just see. He is a game time decision. I don't care how good the Patriots defense is. Patterson is the only option that they have. And Bill, he made game plan for taking Patterson away. I don't think that Matt Ryan's going to have a good game at all. Matt Ryan has been so inconsistent this season. It's been terrible. Okay, it's been very, very bad. But I feel confident in Patterson, regardless of if they take him away. Then obviously the next best thing is to just hope and see that, hope and pray that if you have Patterson, he is able to go. Pitts is another wild card that you can consider starting, but just know that he's not going to have one of those great games, not against the Patriots defense. So Patterson, I would definitely start if he's available. I don't care how good the Patriots are, again, on the defensive side of the ball. And Pitts, but just be mindful that it's probably not going to go well. For the Patriots, I'm going to say that I trust a few of these guys because the Falcons have been terrible all season pretty much. Hunter Henry is playing a bit more consistent. Mac Jones is starting to look for him more. I actually feel that Mac Jones is going to have a good game because, again, the Patriots are playing some good football and the Falcons have been stinking it up most of the season. And normally when certain players are playing the Falcons, those are players you start. So Hunter Henry, Mac Jones. I don't trust any of the Patriots wide receivers at all, so I'm not even checking for them, and you should not be checking for them because it's real iffy and you just never know who's going to get the ball. But nonetheless, you know that Hunter Henry's going to get the ball. So Hunter Henry, Mac Jones. I do feel like the running back should have an impact. Stevenson should be in there, okay? After the game he had, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, brilliant, great game against the Browns. There's no way in hell the Patriots are going to just sit him and not allow him to play, even though Harris is back. I want to see what they do with both of them. They may split, but I do feel like both of them will have a great impact on the game. So those two, and then after that, there's no one else I would say you should start. Calvin Ridley is not going to be available, and again, Harris did return to practice, so those are the only 4 players that I would be checking for in this game. Let's talk about the Saints at the Eagles. Players to start: Mark Ingram, Deontay Harris, he's been the most reliable wide receiver for them this season. And even though the Saints defense is really good, Devontae Smith has been playing very good of late. So I'm going to say start him as well. Miles Sanders is back. So let's see what they do with Howard and Miles Sanders. I do not trust any of those running backs again this week going up against the Saints. However, if they do choose to get these guys involved, I have Jordan Howard as flex. Dallas Goedert, if he can go, as flex, but you got to be real careful. The Saints defense is really good, and even though Philly is playing much better right now, still don't trust that team. Okay, I just don't. All right, so be mindful of that. Boston Scott, sit him, sit Watkins, sit Rieger. Don't trust Jalen Hurts in this game. Even though he hasn't been that great when you watch him, he still has been good enough for fantasy purposes, but I don't trust any of them. And Adam Trotman has been playing good football as of late. And Simeon, I actually trust him this week. And then Callaway and Traquan Smith, flex plays. This game should be a really good one. The Dolphins at the Jets. I always say start your key players against the Jets. Tua, I think he'll have a good game against the Jets. He had a really good game against the Falcons. Gesicki should be good to go. Jalen Waddle, Michael Carter, flex play, Ty Johnson, Myles Gaskin, Elijah Moore is the only wide receiver right now on the Jets I trust. And Joe Flacco is on my bench. I don't care if they're playing the Dolphins, but he's just on my bench, but he's going to be starting for them this week. I don't trust any of those other wide receivers right now. So those are my guys I trust. Washington at the Panthers. Obviously, CMC. You trust him all day, every day. Gibson should be good. We'll have to see McLaurin. He's a bit dinged up, but then everybody is. Well, let's see if he plays. But if he does play, I trust him. I'm sitting Taylor Heineke out. He's on my bench permanently. Phillip Walker, we'll have to see what they do with Cam and Phillip Walker. Nonetheless, I believe they should be going with Cam. But Walker, again, is on my bench. Anderson's on my bench. McKissick has been so up and down. He can be a great flex play, but again, with him, you just never know when he's going to really play and play very well. So it's been very inconsistent, and I don't trust him. Moore started the season off great, but quarterback play has hurt his game. I do feel like Carter has some nice flex appeal. Thomas is still not really ready. Darnold is out. We wasn't starting him anyway. Ricky Seals-Jones, day-to-day with the hip injury. And Curtis Samuel, I have been saying for weeks, I just don't feel like he's going to play this anymore this season. But nonetheless, I don't see him playing this week. But if he was on your bench anyway. Colts at the Bills should be a really good game. I'll definitely be watching this game. You got teams that have good offense and good defense. Defense always prevails, right? We say that. But nonetheless, I do feel like their players are must starts. Josh Allen, I don't care if he's had some duds this season, which he has. You still start him with confidence. Diggs, I'm starting him all day. I'm going to start Pittman. I'm going to start Pittman, not Pitts, because you ain't starting Pitts in this game. Say it even on the team, but no, you start Pittman Jr., Jonathan Taylor, I'm starting him. Cole Beasley is on my bench. Wentz, I don't trust him in this game. Hines, again, he's been like McKissick all over the place, up and down, inconsistent. Don't trust him. This would be the game that he goes off, but I just don't trust him. I don't trust the Bills running backs at all. Emmanuel Sanders should be a nice flex play, and Ty is injured. Now with Pittman, also keep in mind that the Bills have a really good defense, so don't expect him to get you 20 fantasy points. You gotta kind of lower your expectations and just know that he's one of your top dogs. You most likely won't put him on the bench, but just keep in mind that he's not going to perform at that level that you expected him to perform. So just be mindful of that. 49ers at the Jaguars. I like Jimmy G here, and I don't normally play him, but I do this week. Debo must start every week. George Kittle is back. Hopefully he's good to go for the rest of the season. James Robinson, because he is a really good running back. I know the 49ers are solid at times on defense. I still feel like James Robinson is the only true reliable player on that team. Dan Arnold is starting to be more reliable. So those are the only two guys I truly trust. But we got to see if Robinson is good with his ankle. Sit Trevor Lawrence. Like, at this point, if it's not a dynasty league, he's most likely on waivers. Marvin Jones, his production, in my opinion, is tied to Trevor Lawrence, who hasn't been playing well. Laviska, he hasn't been playing good all season, so I only trust Laviska in a dynasty league because that means I give him an opportunity next year. Redraft, he's on waivers, in my opinion. Brandon Ayuk and Jamal Agnew should be solid flex plays. Let's see. Injuries, let's see if Mitchell can go. If he can go, he'll be a great start. Raheem Mostert is injured as well, and DJ Chark is also. Titans and the Texans. This should be a good game for the Titans. Very good team still, even though King Henry is out due to injury. Julio is out as well. Deshaun Watson, we know what's going on with him. Brandon Cooks, Ryan Tannehill, and A.J. Brown are the players I trust. This should be a nice bounce-back game for A.J. Brown. Don't start any of the Texans running backs or tight ends. And Tyrod Taylor is a must-sit on your bench, okay? He should be only owned in super flex leagues. And flex play, Nico Collins, I can see him doing like 8 points. And then Marcus Johnson should be in the mix as well as a flex pay. Packers at Vikings. You're starting Aaron Rodgers with confidence. Dalvin Cook, A.J. Dillon, start him with confidence. Obviously, Adams, you always start in Jefferson. Kirk Cousins, I do not trust him. He's just inconsistent. Every time I play him, he puts up a dud. And the Packers defense has been really solid so far this season, so I do not trust him. And Madison, he's not going to be playing much with Cook healthy and ready to go. Flex play, Tyler Conklin, he's been solid over the last 3 games, so I would start him with confidence. And Adam Thielen has been all right, but he hasn't been getting touchdowns the last few games. But you don't ever sit your guys like Thielen and Jefferson. Aaron Jones is injured, and Tonyan is out as well. Ravens at the Bears. This should be a good game for Lamar Jackson. Marquise Brown, you start him. Andrews, you start him. And David Montgomery, I trust him. I do not trust Freeman. Watkins on my bench. Justin Fields is all the way at the end of the bench. Khalil Herbert, no. Allen Robinson and Marcus Goodwin, I don't trust them, and that is because of Justin Fields. Even though he is starting to play a bit better, still do not trust them. Rashad Bateman, nice flex play. Mooney should be a nice flex play. He has a good rapport with Fields, and Cole Kmet has been playing well the last few weeks. Injuries, Murray, got to see what's going on with him. Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins, all injured. And Cohen is also still out as well. The Bengals at the Raiders. You're starting Josh Jacobs with confidence. Hunter Renfrow, I really trust him. He's been steady and consistent all season. Darren Waller, Derek Carr, get him the ball. I'm starting both of those guys. Obviously, you start Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, and then Mixon should be good to go. Drake's on my bench. Zay Jones is on my bench. Tyler Boyd is on my bench, and C.J. Uzomah is on my bench. Flex plays, Brian Edwards and T. Higgins. That's what it is. Cardinals at the Seahawks. James Conner has been playing out his mind this season. I got it wrong about him, y'all. But I think a lot of this is tied to they were utilizing Conner and Edmonds in that same similar role they used Edmonds and Drake last season. And with Edmonds out, it's going to be Conner. So play Conner. Seahawks is a mess right now. Zach Ertz, DK Metcalf, Kyler Murray, and Hopkins, they're out, missed the last 2 games. If they are available, you obviously start them with confidence. Chase Edmonds is out, and Chris Carson is not doing well with that neck. His main priority is health. He needs to be thinking long-term health right now. Christian Kirk should be a nice flex play. Alex Collins would be a nice flex play, but he is touchdown dependent, so keep that in mind. Wilson, I'm not trusting him right now. Benjamin is a no. Colt McCoy is a hell no. AJ Green is a no. Lockett hasn't been playing well for several weeks, and Rondell Moore. No. This game coming up, the Cowboys at the Chiefs should be a very good game. Very exciting game. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of offense this game, even though Dallas defense has been solid and consistent this season. I want to see more offense. And you start all of your top dogs in this game. So Prescott, I'm starting him. CeeDee Lamb, let's see if he can go. He should be able to go. You start him with all the confidence in the world. I did say he has arrived. He is the number one wide receiver for the Cowboys. They got so many damn weapons. Ezekiel Elliott should be good to go. Amari Cooper, if he can go, play him. Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. Mecole Hardman is on my bench. Flex plays, I like Pollard, Gallup, and Darrell Williams. And let's see if Edwards-Helaire returns. Then that would kind of hurt Williams' value. And Dalton Schultz, hopefully he has a nice bounce back week. This is the game I want to see. And I want to see Kelce go off. I want to see him go off. And I really want to see what's going to happen with Diggs and Hill. That is a key matchup to watch. Y'all watch that matchup. Steelers at the Chargers. Ben out with COVID. See if he can go. Claypool, toe issue. Players I trust in this game and that you should start. You always start Najee Harris. I like DeJounte Johnson. Keenan Allen, obviously. Austin Eckler. Justin Herbert. Sid Mason Rudolph. Jared Cook. Right now, Mike Williams is flex play at best. Wide receiver, 4 at this point. He hasn't been good the last few weeks. The last 4 games, he hasn't even had a double-digit fantasy game. So that should tell you how much you should trust him. Should be looking elsewhere. James Washington may be a nice flex play if Rudolph goes because they have a great rapport. And then Pat Freiermuth is ready. He's arrived, and you start him with confidence in this game, y'all. Giants at the Buccaneers. Whew. It's my boys. We gonna get it. Giants, we gonna win, right? I don't know. But nonetheless, we have a chance. So, Giants defense has been playing much better as of late. But nonetheless, I still don't think they're going to shut down the great GOAT Tom Brady. So I'm starting Brady with confidence. I think they're going to run the football more. So Leonard Fournette should have a solid game. Evans and Godwin, that's it. With the Giants, it's very hard for me to say who I want to start and sit because of the injuries. Sterling Shepard, injured. Barkley, I don't know if they're going to play him this week. Gronk is out, AB is out. But nonetheless, the run D for the Bucs is really good. But they're going to be without some of their most important run stoppers. Nonetheless, I do not trust Booker this game, so he's on my bench. Barkley, I don't really know if he's going to play and how effective he's going to be. So I'm sitting him unless I know that he's going to play. And then again, he's most likely not going to have that full workload. So I would stay away from him. Evan Ingram, no. Slayton, no. I don't feel like Daniel Jones is going to have a good game this week. Galladay, again, I can't really say because they have been inconsistent with getting him involved. And then again, Tony as well. So Galladay and Tony can be flex plays if they get them involved and game plan for them, which they haven't. So I'm staying away pretty much from my Giants players. Lions at the Browns. This should be a nice bounce back week for the Browns. Nonetheless, with Chubb still out on a COVID list, got to see if he plays. If he cannot go, Janssen, you start him with all the confidence in the world. Swift, I trust him. Obviously, it's been really good. You've seen what Stevenson was able to do to the Browns. Swift has been very consistent all season. He's been the only consistent player at this point for the Lions. Tj Hawkinson, I'm starting him because he's my tight end. Baker Mayfield, I don't ever start him and trust him. He hasn't even thrown for 4,000 yards in a season yet. So He's on my bench. Don't trust him. Jared Goff, he has an oblique issue going on. I don't trust him. Never have, never will. He ain't even on my team. So y'all know what to do with that one. And Lions wide receivers, it's all over the place. I just would not trust them because the Browns are going to want to come back and have a nice bounce back week after getting their tails whooped by Mac Jones, by the Patriots. So do not trust him. And then with Hawkinson, he had zero catches, no fantasy points versus the Steelers. I'm mad about that. I'm mad as hell. But nonetheless, I still trust Hawkinson. And key injuries, Jamal Williams, Jefferson, Chubb again, Demetric Felton still with COVID as well, and then Kareem Hunt. All right, y'all. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to help the channel grow, and make sure those notifications are turned on so you can get notified when we drop the next video. Y'all have a great day. Peace.